Wicca is a neo-pagan religion. Well, the word neo means new. Paganism itself refers to, or usually refers to, somebody who practices an nature worshipping or earth worshipping religion. Some people have even said it describes anything that is a non-Abrahamic faith. Well, the theistic beliefs vary, but most will tell you, no matter what theological belief they have, that it's at least dual theistic in a way, that most Wiccans believe in the balance of masculine and feminine. Now, many will say that the true supreme is genderless, just like so many other religions, even out of paganism, will tell you. But they will usually pray to God as a god and goddess. Now, some can, to some degree, be monotheistic, where they believe that there is just one supreme being, but they'll pray to it occasionally as male and female, and recognize that it has both sides. Some are dual theistic in the sense that they believe that the god and goddess are two separate beings. There is also the soft polytheistic people who will believe perhaps all the gods are one, or one god with many names. And there are people who will tell you that Wicca is hard polytheistic, that there are hundreds of gods or whatever, and they are all separate. So there's truly a sense of freedom in the theological aspect there. It's really up to you. What I think that makes somebody Wiccan is that they notice, even if they don't worship both, they acknowledge the balance of the masculine and feminine side of God. Also note that there are atheists. Satan, or the devil, is a Christian concept, or one out of the Abrahamic faith. I believe the Jews and Muslims touch a base on that too. I don't know if they go to the extent that Christians do with the devil, but as we say, the devil is a Christian concept. You all can keep him. We don't have it. We don't need him. We don't want him. We just don't accept that idea of absolute evil like that. At least I don't. Especially one that is a created being, because according to religion, the devil is created by God, and I think the way people talk about him, they're kind of giving him almost the same power as God. And I just don't believe that anything other than God would have that power. And I'm sorry, even as a pagan, I believe that. So, no Satan in Wicca, okay? So, that whole we're satanic thing, we don't even believe in the devil, so it's impossible to worship something you don't believe in. Not exactly. We do have what is called the Wiccan Rede, and it says, harm none, do what you will. It's not quite like the Ten Commandments in a way where, it is a commandment. But it's more of a poem of advice. What you should and shouldn't do. I'm kind of quoting other Wiccans here. Not specific people, but just ones in general, even some pagans of maybe other faiths, of other pagan paths. That, harm none, do what you will. It's kind of like the Ten Commandments all summed up with a dose of common sense. You wouldn't steal from yourself, you wouldn't kill yourself, and so on. So, a big thing in the pagan religion, it seems, is the idea of following common sense in that form of morality. I guess they just don't. We don't really, because it's something that I believe in and I can see the point in. It's just common sense not to do these kind of things. You shouldn't need a holy book to tell you that it's wrong to murder or steal or cheat. No, we do not have an actual holy book like the Bible or the Quran, but we do usually keep a book of shadows or a grimoire, which is, I guess you could describe it as maybe a Wiccan or a witch's diary in a way. Some have one that belongs to a coven that everyone in the coven will use. Many have their own individual BOS or grimoire that is just for them to see. Usually it's private, unless there's something in there you don't care that somebody sees, maybe a spell or the copy of the Wiccan Read that you've written down. But usually it's something private between a Wiccan or a witch and the god and goddess, or whatever they feel it may be. Just like the devil, there is no hell in Wicca. There's really no heaven either. Most Wiccans believe in what is known as the Summerland. Many, I'm not sure if totally all, but many Wiccans have adopted the idea of karma and reincarnation. So, getting back to the thing about the Wiccan Read, I might have forgotten to mention that many Wiccans believe in the threefold law. Whatever you do comes back to you times 3. Now, in the sense of the afterlife, just like many Hindus and Buddhists too, I believe, many Wiccans believe how you acted in this life determines what happens to you in the next. Meaning, if it doesn't seem to the god and goddess that you learned in this life what you needed to learn and you were a bad person, you might just be reincarnated. But Summerland is basically the final resting place. I guess it's kind of like the same thing as the Buddhist nirvana. It is the final state of bliss or rest. We also have something known as the threefold law, which basically says that whatever you do will come back to you times 3. Now, not every Wiccan believes in this or takes it totally serious, as serious as the Read. Some don't even always take that serious, but it's the threefold law, which says, again, anything you do, good or bad, will come back to you times 3. That is a belief from your religion, and that's great. If that is your view of God, that is your belief. As long as you do not shove it down people's throats, and you do not condemn us to hell because, we may believe the opposite. Here's the thing. To some degree, I believe in that particular god too. In fact, there are actual Christian witches, Christo-pagans, even Christian or Christo-Wiccans. Well, some say that the ancient pagans, maybe such as the ancient Celtic and others, did perform sacrifices. Wiccans do not. But also keep in mind that Abraham was going to sacrifice his son in the Bible for God. Okay? The Wiccan holidays are usually the Esbat, which follow the phases of the moon, and the Sabbats, which usually follow the life of the god. Wiccans can use any pantheon they want. Some choose to stick with one, and some choose to mix. Some say you can't mix, but once again, that is based on opinion. It's really up to you.